ye precious. We love thee precious. We love thee things it buys us. Master tricked us. A stupid fat church that wants me precious.
Gollum is the epitome of the verse we are looking at today. In Matthew 6 verse 24, Jesus says no one can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he'll be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and mammon, Matthew says. Matthew gives it a sort of like a name, almost like a deity, just reinforcing the point that a wholehearted, whole, flourishing, devotion, virtue life of a disciple is at war with the spiritual forces behind money and possessions, which he calls mammon. And Jesus is saying to us in very clear terms, you cannot serve God and money. It will destroy your spiritual life. Your wholehearted devotion to Christ will be pulled and drawn aside, and you'll end up hating God. You'll end up resenting and stopping going to church. You'll end up hoarding your possessions. It is a wholeness of heart that Jesus is asking for. And he's saying, please don't flirt with money as though it's innocent. Imagine I was to say to Heather after lockdown, I'm just going out for a coffee with another married woman. It's a platonic friendship. It's a really good, flirtatious relationship, but it does me a lot of good. Do you think Heather would say, hey, that's really good for you, Guy? Of course she wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't say that. You'd say, no, you're going down a path where it's going to draw you away from the wife that you chose 38 years ago and set your heart upon, and you'll end up despising Heather in order to love this other person. It's the same with material possessions in this world. I've known the power of those that keep drawing me away and drawing me away from a wholehearted devotion to Christ. And so at a time with so much unease in our world, so much material challenges before us, we need to get this right, brothers and sisters, because God will want us to feed the world. He'll want us to give away our possessions and to be generous. And therefore, this is an important verse that we get into our spirits and we live out in purity of righteousness.